Are you like selling that?
Hmm?
Are you like selling
No,
that?
that's mine.
Yeah, I was asking about that. Why?
No. I don't know that you could pay me enough to get that.
No. I think if I, no, there's no way. I mean, with all you probably had to go through to put it together.
Yeah, it's not a cheap thing.
Yeah.
All the armor is independent. The bodysuit is completely standalone. None of it attaches to it.
Right.
But each piece is crafted out of ABS, molded out of ABS plastic, which is light enough. I know some guys that have done fiberglass. They regret it when it gets hot.
Yeah.
The 501st is actually in episode 3. If you look in the episode 3 visual dictionary in where it talks about the Jedi Purge beginning, when Anakin goes into the temple to begin the Jedi Purge, the 501st is the ones that are with him.
Oh, that's him? Okay.
So we are canon now in the films. Master Replicas has also got a clone trooper helmet from that as well. They're thinking about doing a limited run just for the 501st since Lucas has put us in the film. There's rumors that we may have some part in the live action series. That's not been confirmed. Albin Johnson is our founder, and he one guy with a vision of putting together a small costuming club. And again, now we're worldwide. So it's been neat. Several of our guys have been invited out to the ranch. Albin has been out to the ranch a couple times. And again, a lot of us got to meet Lucas and got to work security for him at Celebration, and so.
That is awesome.
You're lucky.
I'm a big theater geek, so I like to dress up, and Supergirl is one of my favorite characters, so mostly just love coming here because I get to see everybody that I've met over the years, all the great artists like George Perez and Roy Thomas.
I am Destiny of the Endless. It was foretold in my book that I would be here today.
I'm currently dressed as the ultimate Captain America from Marvel Comics, and big fan of Heroes Con, and big fan of the comic shop itself.
Well, for one thing, it's escapism. You know, it helps you get away from what's going on in the world. And I think some of the best comic books over the years have been heroic comics where you can identify with or champion, you know, the good guys. Yeah, we need heroes.
The Premiere store with the beautiful fixtures and the Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus.
He's got a big Spider-Man fighting Dr. Octopus in his store, and I did the designs for that. And he's got on the bathroom at his store, he's got a Clark Kent turning into Superman piece, and I did the artwork for that. And
I'd already been collecting comics for profit, so to speak. I've been buying multiple copies with the anticipation of selling or trading them down the road, and it was just a natural progression for me to segue into a store.
When I was a kid, I read comics. I read like Harvey's and so forth, and Archie's and some Spider-Man, but I never dreamed that there was such a thing as a comic book store. And so when I was, I think, 19, I discovered this place.
In 1982, I'd had the store open for about 2 years. Started my own small show here at Eastland Mall and at some of the hotels around. And so I was aware of what it took, or what it was like to do a show. The first show will always have a special place in my heart because some of my oldest friends were at that first show, and they're still my buddies, you know. Some of them were here in '05. George Perez and Mark Wolfman, and Jackson Geist was a brand new on the scene artist at the time. He was just a kid. In '84, Stan Lee was here, and of course that's a real special thing for me to actually have Stan Lee at my convention and get to spend some time with him. That was real nice. Julie Schwartz was one of our perennial guests after he retired from DC Comics. He was first here in '85 with Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson, so that was cool. After he retired, he became sort of a regular, and the show was always about the time of his birthday. 2000, I think it was. It was his 85th birthday, and it was also it was an anniversary of the Flash starting the Silver Age of Comics. We had Carmine Infantino that year, and we had a birthday cake on Sunday for Julie, and I mean, it was a big birthday cake that the whole convention could share. You know, it was like 2,500 people or something.
You working hard today?
Yes.
Taking people's blood? Yeah?
But I love
Sucking them dry. There's a lot of vampire fans
I know,
here.
right?
So you must be doing pretty well. They're all like,
Yeah.
I usually take blood, but I'll give it to you
Yeah,
today.
I'll give it to you today, yeah.
I don't know what the bigger head rush is, the loss of blood or meeting all my favorite creators.
There's not a con that I do that I look forward to more than Heroes Con. I mean, I've done Dragon, I've done MegaCon, I've done cons in DC, pretty much the entire Southeast. This is the one that's the most fun.
I've been coming here for about 7 or 8 years now, and it's the only show I commit to every year on the circuit.
It's laid back, everyone's so easygoing, there's not a lot of stress, not everyone's like fighting to talk to an editor to get work. It's just a good time to come and hang out and talk about the craft.
Shelton's really created something special with this show. This is the one show we really look forward to every year. You know, San Diego is a working show. It's hard to have a good time. I know it's the big one, but this is the fun one. This is the one that you just can't wait to get to every year.
The excitement here is really great. People really love comics here, and you don't feel like you're getting caught up in the whole video game movie blitz extravaganza that some of the other conventions can be. This is a lot more down to earth, and you can actually talk to your friends and talk to the fans, and everyone gets to have a great time.
Heroes Con is by far my favorite show of the entire con season. This is, I believe, my 15th year coming here. I haven't missed it a single time, and it feels like you're coming home. I mean, the community is so friendly, and there's a very big difference between East Coast shows and West Coast shows. And Heroes Con is definitely a lot more laid back, and you get to spend more time talking to the fans one-on-one. And not to mention our host, Shelton Drum, is, you know, very, very comic book savvy guy and knows the industry inside and out, and absolutely knows how to treat creators and make them feel comfortable when they come here.
Shelton's invited us to, you know, many a dinner, many a good time.
Always been treated like a welcome cousin since day one back in 1989. So that's why I keep coming back. It's been 16 years. Ooh, that's way too long. Maybe I should stop coming.
It's the only one I've been to, 20 years in a row. So
I first came here actually unbeknownst to Sheldon. I came here, I think, in 1991 or 1992 the first time. Back in those days, it was in a different environment completely. It was much smaller. This and the Mid-Ohio Con are the two shows where I actually really enjoy going there, because I get a chance to actually talk to people instead of stand there with lines and lines of people and I can't speak to them at all. You know, in this environment, people can actually come up and ask me questions and get an answer.
He still treats it like a comics convention. It's not one of these things where you sometimes feel that the tail is wagging the dog, and the important thing is who's playing Spider-Man in a movie or something, rather than Spider-Man himself. When you go to a comic convention, you want to deal with comics, and the other stuff should be peripheral, and it's great that it's there, toys, TV, and everything, but you know, to me the criterion is it a comic book convention or is it some kind of sort of media convention?
In Atlanta last year, there were 3 dealers selling comic books. 3 dealers out of almost 500 tables, and to me that was just absolutely ridiculous, you know. These things are supposed to be based on the comic culture, and they have just seemed to have drifted completely away from it.
Unfortunately, due to Wizard World and a lot of show competition right now, you know, they're very competitive. It's hard to get guests and, you know, run a nice show because there's a lot of other big shows that fans can attend. But I think Shelton has gone way out of his way to try to find certain niche guests and try to do things to make sure his show has a nice buzz to it. This year he really went all out on gaming. A lot of gaming people in this town really benefited from it, had some major tournaments here. The fact that he's had the editor-in-chief of Marvel, I believe, for 2 or 3 years in a row now, Joe Quesada, is very impressive. Not a lot of shows get Joe, and he goes out of his way to get him.
It's nice because it's a regional conference that's easy for all of us in North Carolina to get to, but you get to see people that you wouldn't normally expect to see at a medium-sized convention.
Yeah, like people from New York and all over the place.
Kurtz and Cassidy and all those people.
Quesada.
Andy Rutten and James Kachaka.
Andy!
We love you!
It's my favorite show. It's like convention season hasn't really started till I've done Heroes, because it's such a personal and fun con.
I haven't come that I haven't had a good time, either as a paying customer or as a guest, you know.
It's a task to get it together every year, but it's worth it.